I just want to welcome everyone. We're on the first of a 3-day trolley tour around the city of Boston, where we're going to be visiting businesses in different neighborhoods, a total of 12, to be able to give out awards and Business of the Year and Volunteer of the Year for our Main Streets program. In the past, we've done it in one location. This year, we're taking out to the neighborhoods. We're excited about it. Small businesses are such a big part of our city, a big part of our economy, a big part of our workforce base here, and a big part of our neighborhood. So hope you enjoy what you see here, and make sure you go out and support our small businesses.
That His Honor the Mayor is here today to present the Volunteer and Business of the Year for Mission Hill Main Streets. This is a first, you know, the very first time that the mayor has come out to the neighborhoods, to the businesses themselves, to present the awards. Used to go into town and get some, you know, shake hands and do all that, but I think it was very innovative and very creative and very indicative about what this mayor is all about. We've been doing... Absolutely. That's the way I like it. I see Father Phil right here. He was actually one of our Volunteers of the Year in the past. Father Phil, will you, how about a little blessing, lead us in prayer to open the event? You've done this before.
Richard, I'm surprised you're standing on that ledge. Almighty God, on this beautiful day, on this wonderful event, having Mayor Walsh come to visit our neighborhood, which enhances as well as shows us support for all that we do, trying to make this neighborhood a home for everyone who lives here and who comes here to participate in the businesses. We ask you to bless all those whom we celebrate today, whom we award, and we thank all these people for their generosity, their service, and for the goodness that they provide in making this neighborhood a home for us all. We ask this through Christ our Lord. Amen.
Amen. Thank you. Thank you, Richard. Thank you, Father Phil. That's the best way to start everything off, with a little prayer. We all need it. We're all very proud of him. You know what, I saw something on the, I'll give you a little Mission Hill context of a story that probably nobody in this neighborhood is aware of, and I'm sure the mayor might not even be aware of it. But I don't know if you saw that act of vandalism downtown at the Holocaust Museum, the memorial this morning. And outrageous, but didn't take a half a second for the mayor to respond to that. That will be replaced and renewed and done. But there's actually a Mission Hill tie to that whole New England Holocaust. Yes, indeed. I'll even give you the context of it. Back in 1984, I can remember being up at the State House with our late representative, Kevin Fitzgerald, and his father, Bernie Fitzgerald. I don't know if you remember Bernie, but Bernie was one of those guys who landed in Normandy and stormed across Europe. And he was one of the liberators of the death camps. And so we had a little lunch with a fellow named Steve Ross, who was the boss of Kevin Fitzgerald and I when we were youth workers years ago before we got into politics. And Steve came in there and he was talking about the liberators and how important it is. Steve was actually Michael Ross, our city councilor's father. So the context of it. But we were sitting around having lunch and said, I would love to erect some kind of a monument or some kind of memorial to thank the liberators of the Holocaust and to memorialize what the Holocaust was all about. That was 1984. I said, okay, let's get together, and we just kind of kicking it around, and that led to going to Ray Flynn's office and Mayor Teddy Mann in Newton, who was another veteran of World War II, and went up there and started the process, and Ray Flynn gave that land, and that's how the whole process, it took about 11 years, but that wonderful memorial. So that's the Mission Hill context, to thank a guy from Mission Hill, Bernie Fitzgerald, for liberating the death camps. So there's a little bit of the context to put a little bit of history there together. This mayor really learned at the feet of Kevin Fitzgerald. They were state representatives together, shared an office together, and I know their deep affection there, and I have great affection for for both of them. They're wonderful people, and we have a wonderful leader, and we're glad you're here, Mr. Mayor. Thank you so much. And also to honor the two wonderful people that we have honoring today. The first one is Eric Alden. Eric, please come up. Eric, please. No stranger to this neighborhood. Eric grew up on Hillside Street, the son of a single mother with his two brothers. They grew up there, and he's always been involved, even since he was a little kid and volunteering in this neighborhood. He was with the Mission Possible camps, and he was actually the guy that used to drive Arthur Fiedler's fire truck up to the hill from the Transportation Museum. But he's at every meeting. He's always the voice of common sense. He's the vice president of the Mission Hill Main Street Board. He's involved in the Problem Properties Task Force with Pat and all of the folks there, and Dave. And he cares. He wants this neighborhood better. It's his home. He loves it. And Mr. Mayor, if you would.
Thank you, Richie. And it's a great honor to be here today. That's for you. That was for you, Eric. Let me just take a minute here. You know, last year and the year before that, we had some great Main Street awards. And what we did was we usually went to a neighborhood, a Strand Theater, something like that, and we presented them. And this year we thought something different because of the businesses and how important they are to our communities, and the Main Street boards, how important they are to our neighborhoods. When you really think about a neighborhood, and Mission Hill is an area that, as Richie said, I got to know Mission Hill when I was a kid. I used to drive through Mission Hill, through Mission Church, going for my treatment at the Children's Hospital and the Dana-Farber Cancer Institute. We spent many a day going into Mission Church. Later on, I had a chance to get to know Kevin Fitzgerald, as Richie said, and I worked with Fitzy. Leon Graves was here, was in his office, and I learned about firsthand about the important things that were happening in Mission Hill. And I also learned about the transition that Mission Hill had been going through. And then when Fitz moved on to a different job, the neighborhood elected Jeffrey Sanchez. And I worked with Jeffrey Sanchez on Mission Hill as well, and his mom is here. And we worked very closely. We worked very closely together on a whole bunch of issues. And I thought to myself, the transition between Kevin Fitzgerald and Jeffrey Sanchez, when you think about the transition, I'm thinking in name and nationality. It really is not much of a transition. Both sons of immigrants, both supporting their communities, both representing a neighborhood that they care deeply about. And that's what really makes this neighborhood special. This truly is a special neighborhood. And Eric being a vice president of the board, but born and raised here in Mission Hill, means an awful lot. Being a volunteer to his community, working to make sure that this Main Street, we have old businesses like Mike's Donuts that are strong businesses that were there. We have the one that we're celebrating today. But we also have a lot of new businesses coming in. That's because of the work that the Main Street does, that Pat does, and so many other folks. So, Eric, I want to congratulate you on being recognized as Mission Hill Main Street's Volunteer of the Year, granted the 28th day of June, 2017. And I have to say this, of all acknowledgments or accolades you could probably get, this is probably one of the greatest, because it's about thanking you for the work you're doing in your neighborhood. So congratulations. Yeah. We're going to get pictures afterwards, so don't go anywhere. We need, like, the board and stuff, so. Should I do the other one? Yeah.
Where is Andres? Cholo. Hey, right here, right here. Oh, there you are. How are you? He got a haircut for today. Doesn't he look handsome? You wouldn't even recognize. Do you see his picture up there on the banner? Up about a block up of the, and right in front of O'Connor's, right behind a prettier picture of Maria Winograd, so with the mayor. But up here we have this likeness of himself, Eric Alden, to frighten people. No, that's wonderful. We are delighted to honor one of our the backbones of this neighborhood, a small business that if you need an oddball screw, if you need something fixed that you can't figure out where to go, you can go to Home Depot all you want, but you're not going to get the answer. The right answer will be from a guy like Andres Cruz here at AC Hardware. He's here early in the morning. He's here late at night. He's working hard for with his wonderful family. His wife Rosa is here. How are you, Rosa? And some of his grandchildren are here. He's a guy who lives in Jamaica Plain, and he loves this neighborhood. He's been very devoted to it, and our Mission Hill Main Street Business of the Year is AC Hardware. Mr. Mayor.
Congratulations, Andres. And what you have here is an old school hardware store. That's the best thing I can tell you. Like as Richie said, it's usually when you go to places like Home Depot or some of the big ones, and when they can't figure it out, they send you to places like AC Hardware and go there. They'll have it, all the little fittings. And again, it's important to support the local businesses. And what you have here is a family, basically a family-owned business, because I met half your grandchildren running around here. And I want to congratulate you on your investments in our community, and I want you to congratulate you on winning the Mission Hill Main Street Small Business of the Year Award today, the 28th day of June, 2017. I want to congratulate you, Andres, and thank you very much. And in case, I know you can't see him, but on his hip is his phone, and it's not his cell phone, it's his business phone, in case it rings, which is kind of old school as well. So, yeah, old school right there. But we're going to take some photos, so we want to, who's in the, I'll let Richie handle that.
Okay. All right. We have one more, actually, and I see Marcy over here. Marcy, there's some frames over here. Would you bring them over? He was sitting here a minute ago. So. All right. I told you to keep your eye on those, Marcy. Don't leave, yeah. Don't let anybody steal them and he walks away. So, we had our Main Streets Awards events a couple of weeks ago, and the fellow who we are giving an award to, that I'd love the mayor to bestow it to, is somebody who has been very special to this neighborhood. Yep, okay, okay. You know, we were very fortunate a couple of years ago. I see Mike Broll over there from the Department of Public Works. God bless them. They gave us some new street lights last year. And he also put little fittings on there so we could put Christmas lights on them. For the first time in over 40 years, Mr. Mayor, we had Christmas lights coming down the street. And it's very expensive to install those things, you know, the private industries. Yeah, Mike? But we got in contact with somebody who was able to, who's one of the contractors that can work for the Department of Public Works that's qualified. And he runs a little business called Maverick Construction over in Hyde Park. He's a guy that lives in Southie, and I asked him if, geez, could you give us a hand or give us a break, basically, on installing the lights? He said, we'll take care of it. No problem. We'll do it for Mission Hill. And he's that kind of a guy. He's always giving back, and I wanted to especially thank him, and I wanted the mayor to present this to him. Mike McNally, thank you so much, Mike. Come on up here. Grab a photo. Yep. I don't see Amy McDonald here. Is Amy here at all?
Maria's here.
Huh? What? Amy McDonald, is she here? We'll catch her. Actually, she's a wonderful person.
We'll get that.
We'll do some photos here, but I wanted to honor somebody who actually finished her last round of chemo, something you can identify with, Mr. Mayor, yesterday, and wanted to thank her, and we'll get this to her at another time. She may not have been feeling well today, but she's the one who does all these banners and does a great job for us. And say a prayer for her. She's a great person. Runs the only banner company in Boston. Amy McDonald from Heritage Flag used them, and thank you all so very much. Mr. Mayor, would you please just close the day off and pose for photos? Best of luck. I know you got to go.
Let me thank Richie as well for his great work. I want to thank Main Streets, the board of Main Streets. I want to thank the donors of Main Streets. We have some great support from our business leaders in the city of Boston. Thank you for everything you do, and most importantly, thank the community for supporting these local businesses, because without us going into these businesses, we wouldn't have them here, and without the local businesses, our neighborhoods would be in tough shape. So again, thank you everyone. Father, thank you very much for the prayer, and thank you for everything you do for us as well. Keep us in your prayers.
How's everyone doing today? We would like to welcome Mayor Walsh to the Washington Gateway Main Street District and to Foodies Market. This is Vic Leon, one of the owners of Foodies Market, and we've been so delighted to have this business be part of Washington Gateway and really one of the first businesses in the neighborhood. It's part of the revitalization of the neighborhood. They are a fantastic neighborhood local market and really know what it means to be a leader in the small business world. They have something for everybody in here. They hire locally, they have longtime staff, and we're so honored to be honoring them today. We are also very honored to be honoring Randy Lathrop, who I think everybody probably knows in the South End, right? Randy was the founding chair of Washington Gateway Main Streets and continues now as our vice president, and we are so lucky to have her and her devoted countless hours to the organization and the community. None of us would be here and be so successful without her, and so we are so excited to have everyone else here today to join us in the celebration, and Boston Main Streets, and so many city departments here on this really fun looking trolley tour. So before we get to the awards, I will pass the mic on to Mayor Walsh.
Thank you, Jen. Thank you for everything you've done, and I'll talk about you in a second, I think. Let me just start by saying this is something different that's happening, bringing out the awards to the community, bringing out the community to the awards to the businesses, and thanking everyone for their service. As you know, small businesses are vital to the success of Boston, and the Main Street program is vital to the success of our small business districts in Boston. And really, when you think about what's happened in this neighborhood and many other neighborhoods around the city, great things have happened. You've seen great businesses move in, you've seen a lot more activity, a lot more foot traffic, a lot more people doing things, and that's because of dedicated volunteers, dedicated staff, and businesses that are great. So I want to thank everyone for coming out today. I did this today earlier. I'm going to do it again right now because I normally haven't done this, but we have a race in District 2. Billy Lenahan is leaving, and there's a race for that seat. And when you think about who runs for that seat and watch a candidate, there are two candidates that are here today that understand the importance of the small businesses, and I think it's a statement to both of them for being here. Now I know they're in a race, and I know half the people decided one way, the other half the other way. There's some undecideds here, but I want to take a minute just to thank and give them a shout out. Michael Kelly, who's a candidate. I want to thank Michael for being here. Eddie Flynn is here, candidate. Give Eddie a shout out. Because it is important that they both be here to show the importance and what the next city council thinks of small businesses in Main Street. So thank you. The first, what am I giving out first?
We're going to give out the food service market.
All right. So my first award goes to the Business of the Year. Obviously to Victor and Victor, senior and junior and senior. Surveyed the community for 20 years. Look in other parts of the city of Boston. I've had the chance of coming into the store, just doing drop-bys whenever I either go in the cathedral or walking around and seeing that this is a resource for the neighborhood. This provides a resource. Most of us take for granted what a supermarket is and what fresh food is and fresh vegetables are. We take for granted because we walk into stores and we buy it. But this really provided a whole new opportunity, opened a whole bunch of doors for a whole bunch of young people that were walking by here earlier today. Some are here, so I want to congratulate you. I want to present you with Foodies Urban Market, Washington Gateway Main Street Small Business of the Year, granted on the 28th day of June 2017 by Main Street's Boston, City of Boston. So congratulations. And we'll take the pictures after, and then we got a Volunteer of the Year. Now, I don't know if this woman could get another Volunteer of the Year award, but she is. Randy Lathrop's been around the city for a long time, and she's been instrumental in a lot of different ways in a lot of different areas of the city of Boston. But I would have to say, and I said this a minute ago at Mission Hill, some of the best activism of somebody could be in their backyard, where they stay, where they get involved with their community. Being on big boards is important. I'm not saying take anything away from that. But when somebody's involved in their neighborhood, because it goes deeper than just simply helping an organization. It talks about helping where you live and helping your neighbors and friends. So I want to congratulate Randy and present her with Washington Gateway Main Street's Volunteer of the Year Award, granted on the 28th day of June 2017. And I would argue this is probably one of the best recognitions, because it is recognized by the people around you that love you and think that you do an incredible job. So congratulations. And I have one quick other one that's an add-on. Certificate of recognition. I, Martin J. Walsh, Mayor of Boston, do hereby recognize Jennifer Efron and for outstanding commitment to the small businesses in the South End, and for your tireless work with Washington Gateway Main Street District. The City of Boston wishes you success in all of your future endeavors. We'll do more for you, but I want to say thank you as well today, because you've done so much in the Main Street.
Oh, thank you, Mayor Walsh, for coming out to the South End. I'm Randy Lathrop, as he mentioned. I've lived in this neighborhood with my family for 31 years, started this wonderful Main Street district, but you know, we've been in existence 20 years. I'm now serving as Vice President. If some of the board members could just raise their hand. We've got some board members here today, which is great. I want to thank them for their tireless work. Jenny has been our director for 5 years and done a fantastic job. Jenny is now going to be spending time with her family. She has 2 kids. One is a baby, which I totally understand. She's also renovating a house, so I think her time is going to go toward staying home with some precious time when the kids are little, and also renovating. But the board would like, come up here, Jenny, give her a present from the board and recognize, I mean, Jenny, our organization is only 1 staff person, and everybody else volunteers. And thank you, Boston Main Streets, for helping us with many things. They help us with our salary, they help us with health care, they give us monies for promotion and marketing. Without Boston Main Streets and Boston Main Streets Foundation, we could not survive. We couldn't fundraise for all that. So I want to thank the city for that. But I think we should give a round of applause for Jenny. Jenny will be with us to about mid-July. And then we're right now in the process of seeking a new director, so I'm in the process of reviewing resumes. We've got a lot of great candidates, so we look forward to that. But today is Jenny's day also, so thank you.
Thank you all. Thank you very much. It's nice to be a part of this, and it's been a fantastic 5 years, and I've loved working in this community with the small businesses, the people that live here, everyone in the city of Boston. It's all been such a great opportunity for me, and I am taking a little time, but you will definitely be seeing me again, so not goodbye, just see you in a little bit.
So glad to see all of you. I want to recognize our Councilor Sal Matina, Senator Boncory, and then the head of the Boston delegation, Adrian Madaro. Thank you all for being here. I also want to recognize all of the cabinet members and department heads. Thank you very much for being here. We are meeting here today to celebrate the Volunteer Business of the Year and the Individual Volunteer of the Year. And I just want to say a little bit of something about East Boston. East Boston is pretty amazing. It really is a community of people who have been here for a long time, a community of people who are new to the area, and particularly at an organization like Main Streets, and we have other partnering organizations here. John White from the ABCD. Yes. Where's John?
John White.
John White. We have the chamber here. Jim, thank you. We wouldn't be able to do the work we do day in and day out without the community really being in our corner, without the community sharing their time, their energy, their expertise, and their money day in and day out. So thank you very much to East Boston, and I really mean this from the bottom of my heart, and a very special thank you to the business and the volunteer we're going to be recognizing today. And I'm going to leave it to Mayor Walsh to say a little bit more about the business and the volunteer of the year for East Boston. Thank you, Mayor Walsh.
Thank you, Max. Thank you very much. And I want to thank East Boston Main Streets as well, and the elected officials that are here who do an incredible job. I want to thank in particular Salamatina, who actually took a vote on my budget today, so thank you for that. But also has given his career to representing in one way or the other East Boston, and this is his last budget. I want to thank him for that. Adrian Madaro, as Max said, is the chairman of the Boston delegation, which is a big thing for us in the city of Boston. I want to thank you. And Senator Boncori has been a tremendous help and continues to be through this budget process, but also through some other things that we're doing. So thank you very much. What we're doing today is going around to the neighborhoods. We're trying something a little different. In the past, we would have an award ceremony, and people from different Main Streets would come and they would celebrate and support it. And what we thought was bringing Main Streets to a neighborhood, bringing it out to the community, let the community actually see what it's all about. The Main Street businesses in our district are important for the strength of our communities, really. And it's important for us that we continue to share and support the Main Street districts in our different neighborhoods. Here in East Boston today, this is our 4th stop. We're doing a 12-stop, 3-day trolley tour. So we're excited about it and doing it. So again, I want to thank everyone. So the first award, are we giving out the Volunteer of the Year award? Is it? Or do you want to do business first? All right, one of the volunteer award is going to Grace Magoon, who couldn't be with us today, but she's one of the founders of the Main Street District. Somebody who clearly, when they created the Main Street District here in East Boston, it was needed to support the businesses. And as you can see, as you go up and down the street, you can see the impact that the board has made and East Boston has made. And to receive the award is Ida. Ida's here, right? Ida, come on up here. And we're going to take a picture afterwards. But I want to thank Ida for being here as well on this. I don't know if you want to say anything.
Just thank you from Grace. I'm sure she says thank you.
All right. Thank you, Ida. The next award is going to Aquabella Spa. Carla Winter is the owner, and Carla I don't think is here, so S is going to come on up here. And this business is taking the lead on building restoration along the Main Street districts, ensuring that historical details are highlighted, and that's something that's really important. Also helps with Love Your Block, and Love Your Block is a program that through our Office of Neighborhood Services that Jerome Smith is here, making sure we clean up the neighborhoods, and then so many other things. I know this business as well helps us when we do our peace walks and safety walks and everything going on in the community. So I want to thank you for being here, congratulate the business. We handle this to you. And I'm going to ask any Main Street, East Boston Main Street board members to come on up here so we can take one big photo with everybody. So if you could come up, and then I'm going to turn this back over to Max.
Can you?
You get it?
Nice smile. 1, 2, 3.
Thank you.
Oh, excuse me. Do you mind? Oh, no.
Well, thank you, Mayor Walsh. We would love to invite you into the Aquabella Spa. And Esther, do you have something special for the mayor?
Oh, thank you very much.
Thank you so much for coming. We are so honored, and we are so happy to have you.
Appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. I will.
So we'd like to invite everybody to visit Aquabella Spa. I think our East Boston delegation is giving the mayor a hard time.
Don't jealous.
The mayor wants to get a panic.
You ever got one?
So we're going to invite all of you to visit Aquabella Spa, and I want to point out one thing. You will see that it is still a work in progress. The stairs that you will be walking on are going to be restored to their original condition. The facade of this building, which is a historic building in East Boston, is going to be restored to its original condition, and I'd say it's about 75% done. So thank you very much for all the work you do, and thank you all for being here.
coming. My name is Courtney Ho. I'm the director here at Chinatown Main Street. I'm going to introduce some of our awardees for today, but I'd like to hand it off over to the mayor.
Thank you, Courtney. And I want to, first of all, thank everyone for coming out today for Chinatown Main Street. This is our third stop on the first day of a 3-day tour where we're going around the city of Boston and recognizing the small business of the year, and we're also recognizing the volunteers of the year. And what we want to do is really bring the community, bring City Hall and bring Main Streets out to the community. So that's why we're here today. So first of all, thank you all for being here today. I want to thank Courtney and the great work that she does for Chinatown Main Street and her great work. I want to thank the board, the volunteers, and all of the folks. And the first presentation, am I doing this or are you doing this? Okay. The first presentation is the Beantown Coffee House. We're fairly new in the neighborhood. Ed, go ahead. Go ahead, is here. And I have a bunch of talking points about Ed being involved in the community, giving back to the community, addition to the neighborhood. But he just told me a story of them selling their coffee, a special a couple times every quarter or whenever they do it, for $10 a cup. Somebody comes in and buys a cup of coffee. They take that $10 and they put it into a fund and they give it back to the community. And he talked a little bit about helping a young family and the last time they did it. And that, you know, when you think about that, businesses will give pennies sometimes off the cup of coffee. But when you get a brand new business like this, willing to step up to the plate so early and really do something like that, it says a lot about the character of the owner and the character of the business. So this was a great choice for Beantown Coffee House, Chinatown Main Street Small Business of the Year, presented today on the 28th of June 2017 by the Main Streets in the city of Boston. So congratulations again. I want to get a picture after because we have a chance to, let me see the next one. The next one, you might have heard about this woman. Longtime Chinatown Main Street volunteer, started as the executive director in 2000, still is a volunteer, celebrating 10 years volunteering in Chinatown Main Streets. But more importantly, not more importantly than that, but when you have an organization in a community like a Main Streets, it's here to help build the business community, but it's also here to build the community. And the volunteer of the year this year is Debbie Ho, and Debbie is getting this recognition for the work she's done as a Main Street volunteer. But that doesn't mean her whole family has dedicated their life to making Chinatown a better place to live, a safer place to live, whether it's advocating for housing, advocating for a library, which we're bringing, or working to improve the quality of life for the businesses and quality of life for the seniors, quality of life for the people. So I want to thank Debbie for all her great recognition. And surprising to me when we were coming, I was saying to Steve on the bus, you know, for 10 years to go by and Debbie just being recognized now, there must be some incredible people in the past on this board. So Debbie, come on up here. Congratulations to you for being volunteer of the year for Chinatown Main Streets. Any board members, if you come up, we're going to take a picture if you come up, and then we'll, Courtney's going to sing some songs.
Kyle.
Kyle, where's Kyle?
Go.